Right now, we have an array of shirts with two pieces of data for each shirt, a product ID and a title. However, we're going to need to store more data than that for each shirt, data like price, featured image, sizes, and more. Let's step away from our t-shirt store for a moment and explore another example, countries. Here we have an array containing a list of countries. With the empty square brackets, PHP will automatically assign a key of 0 to the first element and a key of 1 to the second element. We would get the same result if we specified the array keys ourselves like this. Array keys don't have to be numbers in PHP. You can also use strings of text. These arrays with non-numeric values for keys are known as associative arrays. Instead of using an arbitrary integer for the key, let's use the country code. If we loaded all the countries in the world into this array, we could easily ask a question like, what's the name of the country with a country code of DE? We could answer that question by looking up the value in the array with that key. This countries array works in many ways like a two-column spreadsheet. Each element in the array represents one row in the spreadsheet. The first column has one piece of data, the country code, and the second column has a second piece of data, the country name. We could also use a for each command here to display a list of countries, just like we loop through our array of shirts. There is another way to use an associative array. Let's comment out these few lines of code. Let's now create a single array for just one country and store a different piece of information about that country in each element. The array for the United States would look something like this. This works more like a single row in a spreadsheet. Each element in the array represents a cell in that row. The key in the array represents a column header. The value in the array represents the value in the cell. There's another way of writing the same block of code that will create the associative array containing information about the United States in one command. Let's go back to the syntax we used at first, when PHP automatically assigned the keys. We can specify the keys with this syntax using an arrow operator. Before each value, we specify a key, followed by an equal sign and a greater than sign. These two characters together look like an arrow. In PHP, they are always related to keys and values in an array. When creating an array like this, the arrow originates at the key. It then points to the value you are assigning to the element with that key. Let's now write some HTML to display the information from this array. We'll start with an H1 that displays the name of the country as a headline. You access an element in an array by specifying the name of the array, followed by a set of square brackets containing the key. In an associative array, the key is a string of text and needs to be enclosed in quotation marks. We'll next write a description list to display all the properties. We'll specify the label in the description term, and we'll have PHP echo out the value of the country code in the description. Let's also add 2 more terms to our description list. One for the capital, and one for the population. You should now see how an associative array is a great way to store multiple pieces of data about a single object, whether that's a country or a t-shirt in our catalog. I have a code challenge for you to show off what you've learned about them so far.